Character of the Week. So, today's Character Week is Takashi Ozaki's manga turned anime, Afro Samurai, voiced by Samuel L. Jackson himself. Afro Samurai is a fusion of feudal Japan, futuristic science fiction, and Western hip-hop. It follows the tale of a guy named Afro Samurai who is avenging his father's death. When Afro was a young boy, he witnessed his father being murdered by a man named Justice for his headband. He was the number one fighter. Basically, in that world, when you're the number one fighter, you possess godlike abilities and possible immortality. Under the tutelage of Swordmaster, who is a master of swords, he trained a young Afro Samurai in the ways of Bushido, for the sole purpose of actually gathering all the headbands so that he can challenge the number one. Now, the rules were, in this particular world, the number one fighter can only be challenged by the number two fighter, but the number two fighter can be challenged by any fighter at any time, so that he may or may not lose the rank of number two to challenge the number one fighter. There isn't much to the plot. Basically, it's not a tournament style, but it's beat your opponent, move on to the next opponent style fighting, or accepting a challenge from another fighter type of storyline to eventually get to the main bad guy, which is a guy named Justice. Now, the thing about Afro Samurai, to me, is one of those style over substance type fandoms, because the actual story itself and the character development doesn't really happen much, so you're not really falling in love with the character, but you love the way how this whole thing looks, the whole universe, the design, the flow of his hair in certain scenes. As a young man, Takashi was enamored by the Western hip-hop influence, and also the influence that Asia had on hip-hop. That love is actually what helped him create the style or the look of Afro Samurai. When it was in process of becoming an anime, it was picked up by, I believe it was Gonzo Studios, and somehow the trailer found its way to someone in America named Samuel L. Jackson, who fell in love with it. So with him backing this up, he became the voice of Afro Samurai. The voice of Justice, which was the main antagonist of it, was the voice of Ron Perlman. So with Samuel L. Jackson and Ron Perlman heading this up as two big Major League American actors doing the voice acting for it, other voice actors followed. But then also the soundtrack was produced by RZA. You know, he loves to get his hands and stuff like that, so there we go. Now, the thing about it, along with his love of hip-hop, the Takashi Ozaki was also inspired by Yasuke, the tale of a Obsidian Samurai. So shout out to the special unique look of Afro Samurai and the influence that it had. Like, share, and subscribe. Back to you guys.